Another attorney commercial with big promises? Millions of dollars, practicing law 24 hours a day, blah, blah, blah. Let's get rid of the smoke and mirrors. None of that really matters. What does matter? Having a medical doctor as your attorney. That matters.
Hey there, crew, doing a live update here as we move past 5 o'clock toward 5:15 on Tuesday evening. And as we thought would be the case, you know, things going downhill through the afternoon. No doubt about that. Let me show you here what has happened across a basin through the course of the afternoon, because it got a little bit windy up there, some snow rolling through. And yes, indeed, this is the weather that we have been seeing in parts of the lower elevations as well. So yeah, we've got this system that's been moving in from the north. I'm going to start off, kind of do a tour here from north to south. If you haven't been out, you haven't left work yet, you've been inside, you haven't left for the evening, want to get you ready. In Denver, things looking okay. 42 there at Lincoln and I-25 on the south end. There has been a lot of virga over the Denver area. That's rain and snow not making it down to the ground. And through the course of the day today, elevation has really played a role. This is kind of a spooky shot here from the Broadmoor's cloud camp. Kind of looking across town there, you see some lowerings there in the clouds on the left-hand side. That's an indication that some of this is not making it down to the ground. You can see some snowflakes flying there at cloud camp, but you can see the visibility across Colorado Springs. I mean, you can't really see Black Forest from that shot right now. And you can see the reflectivity here on the radar, things moving in from northwest to southeast as we thought would be the case. Earlier this afternoon, we hit low 50s in Colorado Springs, and now some neighborhoods are running in the upper 30s. And the wind is kicked up. Some of that is because we've got this virga overhead. Again, we are catching some showers here and there, just kind of depends on the neighborhood, but the radar looks worse than it actually is. Not on top of Pikes Peak, though. How's that for America's mountain right there? Yeah, you get up to 14,115 feet, and they've had a couple inches of snow. Cascade, I have seen a few flurries here and there. Just check the traffic cam in Woodland Park as well, and it wasn't too bad. 37 right now at Interquest and I-25. Wind out of the north at 16, so it feels like 28. Try to get you ready for that early this morning here, and it does look like there's some precipitation there on the camera. This is kind of looking up to the north, and so we have seen some stuff make it down to the ground. Now you get toward Pueblo, we've had some radar echo overhead. We haven't really had anything of note, and again, that's because we're at a lower elevation than even downtown Colorado Springs, and some of that echo over the plains really not making it down to the ground as well. You can see in Walsenburg right now, it's 43. Roads look fine there. Trinidad, things look fine as well, and so no issues in terms of travel being reported across southern sections of I-25. But notice that the temperature in the Springs has dropped into the 30s officially, even at the airport now. Pueblo, we've come down also. And so this cold front continuing to work to the south here. Let me put the wind gusts up across southern Colorado because they have been noticeable. In Colorado Springs earlier, a couple hours ago, we had some gusts that were close to 40 miles per hour with some of that virga around. And you can see that north flow all the way into New Mexico and the Oklahoma Panhandle as the cold front has moved through. So for the rest of the night, here's what I expect. And I will tell you this. What I've been telling you for like 4 days now about the chance of showers into the evening, I think as we hit sort of sunset here, there's a better chance of what has been evaporating getting down to the ground. And so the potential for visibility drops is still going to be there. And I think for some quick accumulations of some snow. Now, most of us aren't going to get that. Most of us are going to get what Tyler's getting. And he says it's windy at Powers and Barnes. Tyler, it certainly is. Yeah, things have changed up in a big way here this afternoon. And Maryland says crazy windy out in Falcon right now. The outdoor cat, Clara says, officially has tucked into the garage and into the heated bed. that's in the garage. Now that's a weather report that is down to your neighborhood, right? If cats are hitting the garage, you know that things are changing out there in a big way, okay? Hey, if you want to join the show here and you want to give a report from where you are live, you can do so. I put it into the Facebook post. It is vmix.at/1, small r, big J, big S, small L1. I'm going to get a full screen made where I have that in there. But you can come on the show with me here. You can ask questions, or you can ask questions on social media as well. Like Patricia, she just gave a report here and said in Rye, cooled off big time. Yeah, as that front came through here this afternoon. And Janine saying 36 and windy. East of Ellicott. So yeah, things changing up out there in a big way. Let's go back to what I'm expecting overnight here, because as we head through time, the chance of showers is going to gradually decrease, and that's because the wave that's been moving in from the north through the day keeps heading off to the south here. Now you see SkyCast hanging on to some showers into the late evening. Now, you know, don't get hung up on where SkyCast shows those, because it's not doing a good job right now of showing where things are. But if you remember the last couple of days, I've been telling you that computer models were going to struggle with this. And this morning, I told you that, hey, they've gotten less excited about the showers, but we were looking up across Montana and Wyoming, and we were saying that doesn't make sense. So we've had a little bit more activity around here in the afternoon, certainly on radar, than it looked like the computer models were picking up on. But as we head through the overnight, this wave moves off to the south, so especially after midnight, we start seeing the sky clear, the wind pulls back, and I think by tomorrow morning, we are pretty quiet. So let me set the stage here for what happens as we head into Wednesday morning and then Wednesday afternoon. I mean, we start off in the teens and 20s in the Pikes Peak region. We keep the sunshine around all day long. We end up in the 40s for most areas, and the wind is light. Not just in the Pikes Peak region, but elsewhere across southern Colorado. Big mountain valleys, like they've been for the last couple of mornings, will be the cold spots. Warm spots will be down around Canyon City, where we're squeezing some air through Bighorn Canyon there, and we have a little bit of a westerly breeze. We'll probably stay in the upper 20s, but by the afternoon, we're mainly in the 40s and 50s. Couple spots up higher will be in the 30s, and it doesn't matter where I take you on this tour. Tomorrow it tells the same story. We get a decent recovery into the afternoon, but I tell you what, it's going to feel better on Wednesday with the sun and the light wind, particularly in the afternoon. It's going to be a banger compared to what we've had out there today. So even over the plains, we start off chilly. We end up on either side of 50 in the afternoon. Same deal here up across the Palmer Divide, starting off in the teens and 20s, and then ending the day with sun and light wind. And behind that, we end up getting even warmer here as we head into Thursday, Friday, and the weekend. So, all right, Jenny's asking a question. Will my commute from the Springs to Denver be slick? Jenny, I really don't think so. Even if the interstate was to get hit by one of the heavier showers here this evening, I mean, I think there's enough time overnight that even in a worst case scenario, like let's say we slushed up the road on the interstate, I think by tomorrow morning we're probably okay. In fact, here's what it looks like at Monument right now. And you can see that we are getting a little bit of snow now off to the side of the road. I mean, just a little bit. But it's wet, folks are moving along okay, and it's still 35 degrees. So that's why I think you're going to be, sort of okay in that area. That's a great question, though, and I'm glad that I could answer that for you. Here's another one. Clara says at Palmer Park proper, the weather station says it feels like it's 30. I was walking the dog, it's 5:22 now. I was walking the dog, I guess, was about 3 hours ago. And man, little Banjo, he had his jacket on. In fact, he's down here. He still has the jacket on. You want to see Banjo? Come here, Banjo. Come here, buddy. This is my weather dog helper here. You're okay. You're all right. He's still got his coat on, and he was super sleeping, right? Okay, buddy. There you go. Now he's mad at me. But that was Banjo. He's a weather dog. He's going to help me here on Peaks to Plains. And if you missed the live this morning, Mornings with Meister's live every morning, starting at 6:30, I broke out for the first time my easy to understand 0 to 10 scale of if it's going to be nice or not. And Banjo's helping me here, so I'm calling it Banjo's barometer. Okay, here's what it looked like. Here's what we went for today. He's in his window of wonder. He's wondering when he gets to go on a walk and whatnot. And because it was nice this morning, and then we knew things were going to change up this afternoon, I went with a 6 for today. Now, it doesn't feel like a 6 out there right now. I agree with you on that one, because you were probably like, Meister, what are you talking about? But you have to take the day in whole, right? Anyway, so that was Banjo's barometer. I've got 1,000 pictures of him. My family takes so many pictures of that dog, but he's kind of going to be hanging out in the window there, so it'll be cute. And Patricia, right on cue, says, "Aww." That's right, Patricia. That's my dog. That is my dog. So, my friends, wanted to give you that update here. As we head into next week, couple things to know about. We've got a pattern change on the way. I've been talking about that for a couple weeks now. And you know what? While you're here, I'll just show it to you. Because it's a week away, kind of when we would get some of the action. And a week away, I mean, if someone's going to tell you for certainty that they know a storm is coming, should probably turn around and walk away. But what I can tell you is, and I'm going to show you here, here's the upper level energy as we get into the next hour or so. And the red, that's the upper level wave that moves off to the south. But you see this big ridge of high pressure that builds in? Actually, let me back this up here. Let me stop the computer. See that big bump in the black lines? That's a big ridge of high pressure. So that's why I think as we move from Wednesday and then into Thursday and Friday, the temps go up and probably into the weekend. Then we get into the back part of the weekend here, and you see that red blob down to our south? Well, we still have the ridge in place, big bump in the white lines from Portland up into southern Canada, but this system's undercutting the ridge. And there's nothing to really steer it. So it's not going to move all that fast. So watch what happens into next week here. It just kind of takes its sweet time. I mean, even by Tuesday, it's moved from Arizona into Texas. And that's because the pattern change that I'm talking about starts moving into the western U.S. And so as we get into Wednesday and Thursday of next week, see how right now the computer model is kind of taking one piece of energy up to the north and another lobe to the south? And then if my head was Colorado, kind of in no man's land there. I mean, if it works out that way, we're not really going to get much, although I do think the mountains would get some snow. But can we say that with certainty? Like more than a week out? No way. We can't. But there might be even some more energy back behind that, because you can see there up across the Pacific Northwest heading into Portland, there's another wave. So at least we break that ridge down, and at least that gives us kind of a chance here of something to watch, something to keep our eye on. So that's kind of what we're going to be watching here. If you're just joining us, do another tour here for you. I know some of you have been in and out here. So we've been kind of watching some of the radar echo, because check this out from Cheyenne Mountain here. It's looking a little spooky over parts of Colorado Springs now, getting a good shower here at Cheyenne Mountain. You can see that as we look out the window here now heading into our Tuesday evening. But of course, that's higher than around town. So if I check some of the cameras around town, check Interquest and I-25 here, we have had some showers there. I can check out the Air Force Academy here, and it looks fine there, although you do see a couple snowflakes flying by. Fort Carson on the west side of town, Highway 115, it looks okay. Take you down into Pueblo West. And Pueblo, you know, there might be a flurry or two here or there. But as I said, heading into the evening, we're more likely to see some of these showers that have been evaporating on the way down to the ground during the day start to make it down to the surface. And man, I've been hammering for the last few days, so I hope you're ready for it and you're not surprised by it. But I still think there's a chance of a couple areas getting some reduced visibility and maybe some quick accumulations of snow. We've probably got to do that between about now and 8 o'clock. So that's going to wrap it up for me. Crew, I have Mornings with Meister on every Monday through Friday morning at 6:30, streaming on social media, on Peaks2PlainsWeather.com and in the Peaks2Plains Weather app. And if you haven't downloaded that yet, please do. You can search Peaks2Plains Weather in the App Store or Google Play. You can scan that QR code. Maybe if you're at work watching this before you head out, you can do that. Or you can go to Peaks2PlainsWeather.com. And here is a live look at Peaks2PlainsWeather.com right now. And you can see my stream there. And here, right in the middle of the homepage, you can go straight to the App Store or to Google Play. You can get a deeper dive into the forecast information. You see I got cold front bringing changes. You got current conditions there showing the wind and how things are changing there this afternoon. You can read about Dave, who said hello to me at dinner last night for my daughter's 18th birthday. And all kinds of stuff that you can do there. If you want, you can purchase some Peaks2Plains merch, my friends. I've got merch. Yes, indeedy. Folks are loving the coffee mug, I think, in particular, that I use here in the mornings. There it is, Peaks2Plains, got hats, got shirts, all kinds of fun stuff. If you want to support what I am doing, please, I would be so grateful in doing that. This is our weather together, and this is the way that I am changing to serve my community. So someone just got to the studio. Banjo is excited about that. So I'm going to get out of here, and I'll see you tomorrow morning on Mornings with Meister, but we'll get those snow showers out of here overnight. So have a good night.